Okay, thank you, Anya, and thank you, Naomi, for that very insightful presentation. So I'm Monica and my colleague Severine. We will take you through some opportunities which exist in the French market. So we've seen some really remarkable growth from France to Northern Ireland. In fact, 29% growth in visitors since 2014. And if we look at the revenue generated from the holidaymakers, that is 35% growth. So really what we're about here today is trying to get more business from France, trying to encourage the French people to stay longer and partake in numerous opportunities that are available across Northern Ireland. We know we work closely with some of the specific visitor attractions and the Giant's Causeway, Titanic and Derry, so great growth from the French market last year in 2018.
As Monica said, we'll show you a number of examples of the campaigns that we run in the market, and this one is our brand campaign, a new brand campaign, Fill Your Heart with Ireland, that we launched last year in French cinemas for 2 weeks and reached 2.6 million consumers. This was followed by a TV advertising campaign in February and March, reaching 17 million people. And we'll show you just a small overview.
Il paraît qu'il faut toujours écouter son cœur. Et quel meilleur endroit pour ça?
What's special about that ad is the voiceover, is the French voiceover, is actually the official French voiceover of Brad Pitt in the market, so it worked quite well.
So Severine did very well in negotiating French Brad Pitt to do that for us, and it has performed very well. We just wanted to show you this initiative, which we've worked really closely on with our colleagues in Tourism Northern Ireland, and Rosemary Lightbody and Julie and Brian have really helped bring this to life. So Naomi spoke about not doing it alone and doing it together. So I think all of the work Rosemary and the team have done with all of the clusters has really made this valuable. So again, what we're trying to do, this is a pan-European initiative, which Finola O'Mahony came up with a number of years ago. And really it's about clustering together, slowing people down and making sure that they're saying, you know, one night in Northern Ireland isn't enough. We need to slow down. This is a Lonely Planet accolade. This stamp of approval is something really, really important to the French. And we'll just give you like a snapshot of what it included. We worked on all of our, what we call warm channels. So our website, our e-signs that we send to consumers throughout Europe, some paid for activity where we targeted databases of people that are interested in road trips or that are interested in perhaps coastal, rural vacations and holidays. And it has performed really well for us. We have rolled it out for a number of years. It will be taking place again in September 2019. We hope that as many of you as possible here will be part of it, and you can talk to us later or talk to Rosemary and the team. But in terms of what we got from it, it had an overall reach of 13 million consumers across Europe, which is a fantastic result. And out of all of the work we did, there were 90 offers across the Causeway coastal route, all the way through to Derry this year, so for the first time. And 15,000 inquiries went directly to the partner websites. So of those 90 offers which were part of the campaign, there were 15,000 real, genuine inquiries that were generated as part of it. So I think it's a good example of collaboration between Tourism Northern Ireland and Tourism Ireland, and we're very much looking forward to rolling it out, an even bigger edition this year.
Naomi was talking about publicity earlier. Publicity is front and centre of everything that we do. We have a strong publicity plan in place, and we sent about 100 journalists to the island of Ireland last year. 19 media went to Northern Ireland. This resulted in an equivalent advertising value of £5.2 million, which means that if we were to buy that space as advertising, would cost us 5.2 million. So you've got here some examples of national TV coverage on different themes: Game of Thrones, Coast to Coast Route, The Gardens, food, and also some press coverage on City Vibe in Belfast or music festivals. We're also working with the influencers, so everything online media and influencers. We had a number of group influencers going to Northern Ireland last year, and also individual photographers. So that represents a social reach of 5.7 million, which is quite important. And as we were saying earlier, social media is really important.
And I think on that, we bring over about 100 journalists from the French market every year to the island of Ireland, and a lot of you have hosted them, and we're really grateful for that. So just, you don't always see the output of it, so it really is valuable. As Severine said, it's not the tourist board telling them that Northern Ireland is wonderful, it is that objective point of view from respected journalists. The Open, of course, is a massive opportunity and one we're very excited about. We have a campaign in France which will run for 6 months in total. It's a partnership with the Fédération Française de Golf. They have a database of 500,000 golfers across France. Again, this is an audience we would not have access to otherwise. So of course the Open is such a prestigious opportunity for us. We're not encouraging all 500,000 golfers in France to come to the Open. They wouldn't be able to, but we're using it as a hook to let them know about the quality of golf in Northern Ireland, and of course the quality of Northern Ireland as a tourism and as a holiday destination. On that theme, we have worked with this up-and-coming golfer in France, whose name I will try to pronounce, Robin Sigrist-Sio, who was the winner of the NI Amateur Open here in Galgorm 2 years ago. And Robin has been working with us in really demonstrating and showcasing how great golf in Northern Ireland is. So I'll just show you a little clip of what we've prepared, where he's talking about the golf and the overall destination.
C'est sûr qu'il n'a pas été là-bas depuis 68 ans et c'est vraiment génial qu'il y retourne. Moi personnellement j'ai joué Portrush pour une compétition et c'était vraiment un super souvenir. Et du coup moi je suis très content qu'il soit là-bas. C'est un très bon parcours.
We'll ask you questions about his presentation later. So,
Game of Thrones Tapestry, I don't know if you're aware, but the Game of Thrones Tapestry will be going to Bayeux in France. Bayeux, where we host that famous Bayeux Tapestry, and that was an inspiration for our Game of Thrones Tapestry. So that tapestry is currently displayed at the Ulster Museum, and we have come up with a partnership between the Ulster Museum, Bayeux City, Tourism Northern Ireland and Tourism Ireland to make that happen, to bring the tapestry to Bayeux. It all started 2 years ago when we launched that Game of Thrones Tapestry campaign on social media, and when the city of Bayeux picked that up and contacted me, we immediately saw a big opportunity out of that, and here we are today. So working together to showcase Northern Ireland as the Game of Thrones territory, but also promoting Northern Ireland as a holiday destination to the French, but not only, to a global audience as well. So that exhibition will start in September and run until the end of the year. And and we're working with Tourism Northern Ireland at the moment to organise a showcase with Northern Irish industry, and we hope to see some of you at the event in Bayeux in September.
Yeah, and that will be the 13th of September.
13th of September, yeah. Monica will go through the opportunities for conversion in a minute, but our website and the email marketing program are two opportunities for conversions. We have a strong email marketing program. We send weekly e-signs to a database of 100,000 contacts with different teams and an offer featured every week. So we're really looking forward to receive your offers and to work with you on those platforms. We were also talking about social media earlier. Social media is really important. We have a strong, engaged database of 269,000 followers altogether on pages in French. So you can see some examples of videos, offers. So it's important that we get your stories, your offers, that we show them to our audiences.
And Severine hasn't mentioned it, but she and the team have been nominated in France for the best tourism website. So we'll know about that tomorrow, whether we win that award. But already to be nominated is very welcome. So we hope we'll have some good news to share on that after tomorrow. I suppose just thinking about the French market and all of you and how to tap into the French market or how to get more out of the French market. Severine and I were talking about, what would we really suggest as the tips to kind of provide to anybody interested in France. And I suppose food is something that is just hugely important to French people day to day. And it's something that is and can be really appealing to them when they're selecting holiday destinations. And we ran a number of focus groups in France last year, and it was really interesting to hear what the French had to say about food, and we showed them a number of images about food across the island of Ireland, and it became really clear that what they were looking for was not the gourmet meal or the really high-class sort of photos of very fancy meals. What they were looking for was authenticity and the provenance of the food. So food is a theme we work on. We have Tracy Jeffers with us in Bordeaux tonight at a roadshow that we're running in Bordeaux. But really, again, the authenticity and the provenance of the food. So the Ulster fry is something that is absolutely wonderful, and it comes across on all of their Facebook streams after they come back to France after a visit in Northern Ireland. Seafood chowder in a local pub. Naomi mentioned a pint and a toasted sandwich. Well, a pint and a bowl of seafood chowder to the French is something that they really love to see and hear about. So seafood, we are an island. We have wonderful seafood. 46% of our business comes from Paris. So as it is landlocked, they don't have access to this wonderful seafood. So that is something that really, if you have it yourself, put it forward, or if not, link to an establishment that can really promote some good food, or farmers markets. The other point is the French language. So we're not asking anybody to be an expert in French, or speak fluent French, or have websites completely translated into French, but just a touch of French, bienvenue on a welcome, or a bon appetit on a menu, or something just to make them feel welcome. And I suppose even at a minimum, for any guided tours that would be in English, we would just ask for that to be slow English, because the French, just to give them a chance to be able to actively participate in that. The third point for the French market is that accolades are really important. So we have the Lonely Planet accolade here for Belfast and the Causeway Coastal Route. These stamps of approval are really important to the French, and they see it as real reassurance. So any accolade or stamps or awards, include them on your promotional material or on your websites. And we'll be delighted to talk to any of you afterwards about any of that. The meeting the locals and the off the beaten track, also really valuable. I was in Strangford on my holidays this year and discovered a wonderful seafood shop in Ballyhornan. I can still taste the crab claws, but really just those off the beaten track type destinations to try and get them out there. They may not be tourism attractions per se, but a local B&B can always link to them and talk about it, and it can be very much part of the experience. So opportunities for conversion. Again, we spoke about the fam trips, and with thanks to Tourism Northern Ireland and also a lot of you who host these fam trips, really our trade contacts, it's important to get them here to let them experience the product themselves so that it can feature in their brochures, in their programs, and also the media. We said we had, we have about 100 media from France to the island of Ireland each year, and that generated £5 million worth of exposure for Northern Ireland in France. We don't have those budgets to be able to buy that type of exposure, and it is absolutely wonderful. And there were numerous TV programs, including one last night on TF1, but really that exposure is money can't buy for us. We're very much looking forward to Meet the Buyer next week, and I know a number of you will be there. We've got some really good operators coming from France, some of them new, and they're really eager to promote some new product, so we look forward to bringing them over and to all of the follow-up with that thereafter. I mentioned the event in Bordeaux that's happening, and I suppose we have this year for the first time, we're running a suite of regional roadshows which are focusing on cities in France that have access to the island of Ireland all year long. Naomi alluded to bringing in visitors during the off-peak, and that is very much on our radar and something we're trying to do. So Bordeaux has direct access into Belfast. We had an event in Toulouse in January, and next September we will be running a showcase in Lyon and in Nice. So that is all about trying to generate new business during the off-season. Just with regard to some of the online opportunities that Severine alluded to earlier, we have a website called tourismirelandindustryopportunities.com. On that website, if you're not signed up to it already, I really would encourage you to sign up to it. And there you will find numerous opportunities about how to get involved in any of the markets. So in the French market, so for example, it could be, there are loads of free opportunities, so it could be about getting your special offers onto the website. The audience is 1.6 million in France. And also, if you don't necessarily have a special offer, it could be some of those stories. So there is a section, have you a story to tell? So some of those anecdotal stories about the off-the-beaten-track type places, that is gold dust for journalists, and it's really important that we are able to gather all of those stories. So we really would appreciate you letting us know about them. So again, I would encourage you to log on to Tourism Ireland Industry Opportunities, sign up and find out about all of those free opportunities, and then as things advance there are some more significant opportunities. So an idea of the calendar, we're active all year long. We kicked off the year with the TV campaign and the cinema campaign, as Severine spoke about. But you'll see here, like year-round social media, content marketing, Ireland.com, email marketing, year-round publicity and PR, and the trade activation, what we call B2B2C, really getting that message across to the consumers. We have a series of webinars that happen throughout the year, and again there are opportunities there on the webinar to get together as a cluster and inform our trade in the French market about what is available. So we look forward to speaking to you all later and taking any of your questions. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be here this morning, and merci beaucoup. Thank you.